Henrietta, for giving us the opportunity to speak today and for producing a fabulous report. My name is Emma, and along with Jana, I'm the lead campaigner for valproate in pregnancy and co-founder of InFact, the world's first registered trust supporting persons harmed by AEDs in pregnancy. Most importantly, I'm here as a mum to 5 amazing children and young adults all diagnosed with fetal valproate spectrum disorder. Whilst my personal story is significant because I have 5 children affected, InFact have over 2,000 cases registered on our national database, and we know hundreds of families up and down the country who have got 2, 3, 4 children each, and we all share the identical stories on how the harm was caused and how we've collectively been harmed. My story begins at the age of 12 when I was diagnosed with epilepsy and prescribed valproate after a series of grand mal seizures. Fast forward to my pregnancies, each visit to the healthcare professional with my husband became an opportunity to seek assurances that because I had epilepsy, myself and baby were safe. It is the best medication to control seizures, they assured us. Trusting in their expertise, I never questioned their advice, unaware of the hidden risks that valproate posed to my unborn children. At no point was I informed about the potential harm to the baby, and instead I was advised to persist with valproate and increase my dose of folic acid. I placed my faith in those who held the qualifications, assuming they knew what was best for me and my unborn children. As the years passed, the toll on my family became painfully apparent. Having 5 children under the age of 6, the intuition that comes with being a mum niggled at me that something was very wrong with my children. They struggled to meet development milestones, walking and speech delays, recurring infections, and perplexing to me, comments about their facial features. However, as I voiced my concerns, I found myself dismissed and gaslit by the very healthcare professionals I had trusted. I was labelled as depressed, accused of overthinking things. It's just the terrible twos. You are battling exhaustion. It's all in your head. And Emma, your mum has just died. You are experiencing grief. Just some of the comments I received, and there were many. The subsequent years plunged our family into a relentless struggle, and still to this day we are living constant fight or flight mode. The impact of valproate on my children has been catastrophic, leaving them with a multitude of health issues. Autism, cerebral palsy, severe valgus foot. Lauren was born with a hole in her heart. Sensory processing disorder, social and emotional difficulties, deafness, incontinence, epilepsy, hypermobility, scoliosis, recurrent bladder infection. And this has resulted in bullying, no friendship circles, isolation, impacting their mental health, alongside the constant fight for services, help and support. My daughter has always been socially judged on her walking aids, her walking frame, her wheelchair. She will never walk independently, will always need aids and adaptations, and will have to wear the bulky splints and large oversized shoes that she hates. My son, now 18, still cannot do simple tasks that you and I all take for granted. He cannot dress himself independently and struggles so much with his syndrome and the world we live in. He has attempted to take his life with scissors on his wrists, despite my pleas for help and support. The diagnosis of FVSD and everything listed has been devastating for the children and shattering for my husband and I. Exposure to valproate in pregnancy is simply not a side effect or an adverse reaction. The valproate children of the UK are not just data, analytics, statistics, and more recently, the formation of business plans. They are real people with lifelong preventable disabilities through no fault of their own, and they should be respected. The worries for the future weigh heavily on all us parents here today as we navigate the system with the daunting challenges presented by our children's complex needs. Hopes and dreams have been diminished, careers have been sacrificed, and we find ourselves dependent on an NHS educational and welfare system that unfortunately fails to adequately support us with the very unique struggles we all face. The mistreatment we have endured, not only at the hands of the healthcare system, but also in the shadow of a government cover-up, a cover-up that everybody has simply stood by and watched, and it is nothing short of unforgivable. The urgency of supporting individuals with fetal valproate spectrum disorder with redress cannot be overstated. In the face of their regulatory failures, it is imperative that the government acknowledges the Hughes report and responsibility immediately, not in 3 months, 6 months, or a year. Urgent redress is essential now to ensure that our children receive the support they desperately need and deserve, because quite simply, who will support and care for our valproate children when we are no longer here? I'd now like to hand over to Janet Williams.
So nice to see everybody here this morning to allow us to give us time to give our stories as far as valproate is concerned, affecting all our families. So both my sons were born affected by valproate, taken in pregnancy for my epilepsy, with the problems never being discussed with me beforehand. Within 12 hours of birth, our first son became very sleepy, jittery, refused his feeds and was rushed to NICU, where we were told he had withdrawal from the valproate. We were in hospital for a total of 7 days and then referred to a paediatrician with the belief that he was watched over due to the withdrawal, and at no point did anyone ever mention to me fetal valproate spectrum disorder. We went through this again 16 months later when I was referred back to the neurologist after having 3 scans and was told that they were unsure if the baby was in an awkward position or whether he had spina bifida. However, he said, "You're only 16 weeks pregnant, so you can terminate if you wish." I remember thinking to myself, what, or a maybe? Our son was born with crossed toes but no sign of spina bifida or withdrawal, but taken to NICU for observation and was discharged 7 days later. 12 months after that, we received a letter from the geneticist saying she could find no other reason for the boy's problems other than the valproate. From there on, it's been a roller coaster ride of health and education problems, with numerous surgeries and repetitive illnesses, constant assessments for both health and education, with our youngest suffering emotionally while waiting for educational and DLA tribunals. Now in their 30s, life is very much the same, with them struggling with the day-to-day life, with memory, with mental health and physical problems such as scoliosis. The guilt trip has been enormous, knowing the medication I took had harmed my babies, and this has caused the anxiety and panic for their future. Who is going to take care of them when we're no longer here? It stripped me of my trust in the health system and the belief in what I'm told to be the truth. It's been draining keeping on top of everything, and my husband feels it too, having to care for me because of the seizures and now caring for 2 other disabled adults. The pressure on him to give up work and the financial burden that has brought has been unbearable. The way we've been treated by the health system and the government's cover-up is unforgivable, so redress is vital for our children to get the support they need. PIP covers guidance and supervision, but redress would cover the need over and above what benefits can afford. Supporting the future when we've gone, with the added support providing a long life care plan. It's not about taking blame, it's about responsibility and apologising to them for the years of pain and suffering. Not what us as parents have gone through, but the turmoil our children have had to endure. Thank you very much.